Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of This Week on iRacing, the series that tries to give you all the information you might possibly need about the upcoming races on the UI before they appear on the UI. Now, let's start off, as we always do, with the popular series, and let's start talking about IMSA. We'll start with IMSA first. IMSA Open and IMSA Fixed this week, boys and girls. No IMSA Endurance to worry about. We've just had that at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Why has that gone out my head? Why have I completely forgot what it's called? I'm having an absolute brain fart. I'm going to have to pop it on the screen. Whoops, my bad. Anyways, right, so IMSA Open, IMSA Fixed. We're going to Road America. In-game start time's about 2:35 p.m. And we do actually have a chance of rain this week. I feel like it's been a while since one of these big series has had a chance of rain. We're at 24% for this one. 24% chance of rain. There is no chance of rain in the Fixed. So the Open has a 24% chance of rain, whilst the Fixed has no chance. Now, because of the Open having that chance of rain, when I've logged into or loaded the sim a few times, it's a bit foggy. I'm going to assume that's because of the chance of rain. So don't be too surprised if the Fixed is completely clear and the track temps are like 40 degrees Celsius. So do keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Road America, it will be very popular. It's very popular on sim. Whenever this track goes anywhere, people love it. I'm not a huge fan of this place. I actually think the slower the car, the better here, which is an odd thing to say. I've drove an LMP3 here last season, and it was magnificent. It was wonderful. It was such a good track for the car. But I feel like anything quicker, I don't know, GTPs, LMP2s, I don't know. And I don't think it's that good of a track for GT3s, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, Road America at IMSA be very, very popular. Participation levels will be high. I think this is where you're going to find most of the sim races this week. Alrighty then, let's start talking about the GT3 stuff on iRacing, shall we? We know how popular it is at the moment. And let's talk about the GT3 Open, the Fixed, and the Endurance. And as always, all three series go to the same track. And that track this week is Misano. Not the most popular track in the world, I will admit, and I think most of you will agree in the comments. Can't quite fathom why. It seems a half-decent track. It doesn't seem particularly scary or that boring. It seems like quite a fun track, but I don't know. It's just one of those, really. Just not a huge fan in the sim racing community, shall we say. But yeah, let's talk about the actual races themselves. So we got the Open, Fixed, and Endurance. They're all starting at 5:55 in game. Now, you would be thinking to yourself, wow, that's super early. The track temps will be low. Well, it's not. It's mid-20 degrees. And if the track is mid-20 degrees Celsius at 5:55 a.m. when it should be at its coolest, that would tell you that if you were racing during the middle of the day, it would be just scorching hot. It would be an absolute scorcher. So be very grateful, I think, that we're doing this race so early on in the morning and not in the afternoon, or even kind of in the evening, because the track temps would be very hot indeed. Now, you don't have to worry about any rain. I mean, it's just, yeah, but the temperatures being the way they were, I don't think you ever were going to have to worry about rain. But yeah, no rain in the Open, Fixed, or the Endurance, and a 3 hour. Do be careful. Even though, like I said, it starts at 5:55 when you do your quality and stuff, maybe probably like 6 a.m. It'll get to about 9 o'clock in sim by the end of the race, and it will have gone up a few degrees. That's for sure. Not massively, but it will go up. You might reach the 30-degree mark at 9 a.m., which is pretty scary when you think about it. But it's not something that you really need to concern yourself with, because it still won't be a dramatic change from the start of the race. So GT3s at Misano, popularity rise. I don't know, it feels like you can take the GT3s anywhere at the moment. They're so popular on the sim, and it will do well. It will still do numbers. I still think IMSA's going to be the #1 pick this week, because it does have the GT3s in it, and we're going to Road America, which is always popular. So I still think IMSA is my #1 pick this week. But if you want to avoid the multi-class madness, this might be the one for you. So yeah, GT3s at Misano. Hopefully you enjoy. Okay, next up, my goodness me, do I have a combination for you boys and girls this week. We have the Porsche Cup cars going to Mount Panorama at Bathurst. This combo looks giga, scary, excellent, terrifying, and brilliant all at the same time. What's also brilliant is that there's no chance of rain in either series. So the open and fixed, there's no chance of rain in either. Now, this will be very popular. It will be very, very popular with losing SR as well. Normally, I'd say Mount Panorama is pretty damn good for SR, because if you lose an SR at Mount Panorama, you're crashing, because you don't really get off tracks here. You either survive the race or you get a load of 4Xs from crashing or hitting other cars. So I feel like here with Porsche Cup cars, with no TC, no ABS, going down the mountain, I think there's going to be a lot of chaos. And you're going to have to be on your tippy toes. You're going to have to be really, really careful this week, everybody. So do keep an eye out for that. Should be good fun, though. If you can get through the carnage and the chaos, and people being mischievous, shall we say, I think you'll be fine. Should be good fun. There'll be some crazy, crazy quick people here. There always are. You know, people that are quick in the Porsche Cup can be quick in anything, I tell you. It's a really hard car to tame and be quick at. And the people that are quick at it are just really, really, really good drivers. So, yeah. But regardless of that, yeah, no rain to worry about. No high track temps either, because we're starting early on in the morning, 8:55 in sim game time. So you do not have to worry about track temps or anything. As always, no pit stops to worry about in the Porsche Cup Series. So you should be fine in that aspect. So no strategies to worry about. But yeah, those are my top 3 picks for the week. We'll now go and have a look at some other series. I didn't quite make the top 3 for this week, in my opinion anyways, but nonetheless, they're just as important. So let's have a look at the other series now and see if there's anything else that might tickle your pickle, shall we say. All right then, boys and girls, let's start by looking at the sports cars. Let's have a look at all of the series there. I have noticed something straight away before I actually click the record button. I had a quick look at the Ferrari 296 Challenge, and I saw Monza and I thought, no, surely not. They wouldn't do it, would they? The mad lads at iRacing wouldn't do it, would they? They absolutely would. They're doing the Monza combined layout, so you're going through the iconic kind of, well, the old track, quite simply, and they've combined them both together, which is still an amazing thing, really, that you can do on iRacing. And that's where the Ferraris are going, a 296 Challenge. That'll be hilarious, because the top end of these things is remarkable, honestly. So if you're looking for a bit of fun and you're not too worried about the IR, I would highly recommend doing this series, because I think that'll be so much fun. And I think it's something that I'm going to have to personally do this week, because it does look like it's going to be class. It's going to be great. Now, the production car challenge for this week, boys and girls, is going to VIR, so Virginia International Raceway. Got the GT3s there at the time of this recording. And it looks like we're doing the full layout. I say the full layout. There is also a layout that kind of does this section in the middle here to make it like a 20-odd corner circuit, which makes it very, very long. But yeah, we're just doing the normal full course layout, should we say, for this one. So that should be fairly decent, especially in the endurance series as well. So that should be all right. The global global challenge, sorry. That's going to Algarve for this week, where we got the supercars. They're going to Hockenheim. Now, the Falcon Sports Car Challenge very much features in my top 3 series of the week, because I really do like this series. It's a lot of fun. Good participation as well. That is going to Mugello. That should do fairly well. The series can kind of go anywhere at the moment, and it'll get some decent numbers. But Mugello is one of those ones where it's not been in the sim for too long, but it's slowly picking up traction in terms of people actually owning a track and taking part in it. TCRs are also going to Mugello for that one. And what else? I spoke about the Porsche Cup cars already. Proto GT. They're going to Road America, so maybe you might see the odd split. You might see it if you are lucky. And as we know, the GT4s follow the MP3s. So yeah, they'll also be going to Mugello as well. Now, the GTEs, that is very popular at the moment. People really enjoy the GTs. They're going to Hockenheim. Hockenheim is one of those tracks I don't particularly get along with. I don't know why it's so popular, but again, it's one of those tracks many people have. So yeah, I expect that to get some somewhat Radical, they are going to the Nürburgring, the GP circuit. So they're not doing the actual Nordschleife, they're just doing the GP circuit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the sports car stuff. I have just realized as well, as I'm doing this, it looks like we have a 6 hour as well. So we do actually have a 6 hour this weekend. Interestingly, apologies. I normally include that in the top 3, so I do apologise for that. I seem to have missed out on that. 0% chance of rain and start at 2:35. So that will be very popular. 6 hour race at Road America. Yeah, that'll be very, very popular indeed. Now let's have a look at the Formula Car stuff, shall we? And we'll as always, we'll tick off the F4 stuff. Now, it looks like the Asia Pacific Tour, that is going to go to Phillip Island. We've got the European Tour, where we're heading for that one. We're going to Imola for that. Now, let's have a look at the fixed. What have we got here? Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So we're going to Canada for that one. And then let's have a look at the Americas. And we have Indianapolis. So we're going to Indianapolis for... Now the Super Formula Lights, incredibly popular since they appeared in the sim. And for good reason, they're going to Road America as well. So that should increase its popularity. And last but not least, a series I like to check for performance stuff is the F3 cars. They're very much outdated these days. I would love for them to be updated on iRacing. It's quite a popular series already. If we manage to get the updated F3 cars, I think it very much would explode. But then I think you might find F3s and Super Formula Lights maybe competing. Maybe they'll be a bit too similar. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of up for you guys to discuss in the comments. And then lastly, let's have a look at the NASCAR stuff. So let's start off with the trucks. They are going to Indianapolis Raceway Park for this week. The Class A series, where we're heading for in the next-gen cars, they're going to Indy as well. And then if we have a look at the Xfinity stuff, that is also going to Indianapolis. Yeah, lots of so Indianapolis is probably going to be the more popular of the two, yeah. But overall, I don't think it's too bad of a week. There is some good stuff in there. I think, having a 6 hour this week will be nice. And, IMS are going to Road America. Not so sure about the GT3s. I'll be frank with you on that one. And the Porsche Cup cars going to Bathurst will be a bit chaotic. But the good news is as well, the 296 is going to Monza, so that'll be quite fun. So if you kind of just want to switch off and have a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun, I personally think the 296 is probably going to be the most fun you'll have this week on this sim. But yeah, overall, not a bad week. Not particularly great, but not a bad week. I'm probably going to give it like a 7.5 is probably my rate for this week. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. As always, please leave a like. Do subscribe on the way out. And I'll catch you for the next week's episode next week. Take care. Ta-da.